a lot of people ask me how to wrap hands, so this is the way that I actually wrap my hands. So what I do is, first of all, I take the ball, the hand wrap, and I wrap it backwards, so that way the loop is on the outside instead of being on the inside, and the strap, the Velcro being on the outside. It's a lot easier if you do it this way, because then you don't have to spread it all out. You can just roll it in the ball. So the first thing that we do is we're going to take the loop here and we're going to slip our thumb through it. We always want to go across the back of our hand, so that way we don't see the actual stitch. We only see the outside where you see the X, and it lays flat across the back. Now, the next thing that I do is actually go across my hand 3 times. So we're going to go once, we're going to go twice, and we're going to go 3 times. Once I've complete 3 around my wrist, it gives me a nice stable base. So the next one, I'm actually going to go across the outside of my hand. As I go across the outside of my hand, I'm going to go across the inside of my hand and then across my thumb. Once I go across my thumb, I'm going to go behind my hand, come all the way back up across the outside of my hand. Once I come across the outside of my hand, I'm going to go in between the web of my index finger and my thumb, and then come back across my thumb. So now I'm going to cross my thumb twice, and I finish on the back side of my hand again. Now I'll come back from the bottom, and then I'll go right across my knuckles. So it's important that you actually start a base across your knuckles, so that way you protect them and that the wrap doesn't move across them, because they start punching, especially if you punch without gloves, the knuckles will be the first thing that you mess up on your hands. So we're going to go across there 3 times. So we're going to go once, twice, 3 times. As we do this, you see my hands are spread as far apart as possible, because I want to make sure that they can still move once I wrap them tight. If you do them like this and you wrap them tight, you won't be able to move them. So we kind of keep them as spread out as possible. So now that I've gone across 3 times, I'm going to take this side here, I'm going to go across the bottom of my hand, come back across the back of my thumb. It's really important that you hold it as tight as possible, because this will start to get loose as you start to do this. So then we're going to go in between my pinky and my ring finger and tie that knuckle. This will hold what we wrapped for our knuckles to hold it in place. So we're going to keep interlacing. We're going to go through the next set of fingers, back across the bottom of my hand. Oops, I dropped my wrap. And then once again, back between our final index finger and middle finger. So now, since we have these wrapped here, I'm going to take it through the bottom of my hand again, come across the bottom around the back of my thumb, go across the outside of my hand here, and then I'm going to come back across and cover the interlacing up. Once I've covered it up, we're going to come right back around the bottom, come back through the web, and then lay across the middle of our hand. And the reason why we do this is because we want to make sure we secure the small bones on the inside of our hands, so that way they don't move much when we start punching. So now that I come across the back of my hand, I'm going to come once again behind my hand here, around the back of my thumb, wrap back up, go back against the outside of my hand, come back across here, once again wrap across the knuckles, then rinse and repeat. We're going to keep going back down, across, and since we get down to the last bit of the wrap here, there's no need to keep going. We're going to go ahead and use the rest here to finish out our wrist. So I'm going to go back through the web, and we're just going to keep rolling right around our wrist to make sure we finish out with that nice and stable. And if we do this, I can move my fingers well because I spaced them out. We look here, everything is interlaced, nice, stable base. And this is a good hand wrap that you can use for boxing. So that's all I got, guys. Go ahead and watch this video if you want to learn how to wrap your hands with 180-inch wraps.